All right. We are back here, Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It's Wednesday, Wanderlust Wednesday, here in the cave, where we throw stuff at you that maybe you haven't heard before. Deep cuts, new bands, or maybe something you haven't heard in a long time. I've been thinking about this a lot. I've thrown a lot of stuff at you over the last few years, and I still have these ones in my head, but every time I think of them, I'm like, is it good? It's not really that good. It's all right. I like it. So I might be throwing some of that at you where you're like, Mark, really? Today's not that day. But what one comes to mind is Big Electric Cat. Was that Adrian Belew? Big Electric Cat. I just have that in my head sometimes. Is it good? Not really. But you'll be looking up Big Electric Cat, the song, today. I know some of you will. But what are we talking about? We're actually talking about a band that everybody knows. We're going back to November 29th, 1988, when Guns N' Roses dropped their second studio album, Lies, right? This is a weird story, right? So they're coming off Appetite for Destruction, one of the biggest selling albums of all time. They're huge. They're touring. They're all over the place, and you would think that their second studio would just be a home run, but really, this record did bad. It shipped 5 million copies or something like that and went to number 2, so it was no slouch. But yeah, if you dig deep, you got to really look at what this record is. It's, first of all, 33 and a half minutes long. It's very short. I think that's side A of one of the Use Your Illusion records, but anyway, and they couldn't make it 33 and a third just because they should have done that, right? But this record starts off with 4 tracks. Is it 4? First 4 tracks are an EP that had already been put out, Live Like a Suicide. So that was, first 4, already something that was released. They ended up putting that as bonus tracks on other later CD releases. But that was something that was out there. And so those were ones that were not new, right? The last 4 are acoustic. So those are the ones that you really got some radio play with. Of course, Patience being the one that just like made this record so huge, right? I mean, that's a big deal, right? But of these records, 3 of the songs, the 3 of the 4 songs, got some radio play. 1 in a Million. I got in trouble for that for the lyrics, but that one was out there. And Used to Love Her, but I Had to Kill Her. That was written as a joke, and that one got a lot of attention as well. And his voice is totally shot on this record. He said, I think they just needed to put something out. And Rolling Stone basically said they could put out, a record of hymnals or something, or sing commercials, and they would sell, millions of records. But his voice was totally shot after all that touring from Appetite. And he said if he had to do it again at that time, he would go back and record these acoustic songs with a better voice. But I think I like the raspy voice on these particular songs. The song that we're talking about is the 4th song here that got some radio play maybe, but was, there was only 1 single off this. And, that was Patience. That's the other thing. They went from a mega record to a record with 1 single. But we're talking about the song You're Crazy. And this song isn't a new song either. This was on Appetite, but it was an electric song, and it was, to me, unlistenable. I had a hard time with a lot of the songs on that record where other people did not. But he said this is the way that it was supposed to be recorded, an acoustic style. And I can't take credit for this version. Tom Parcell, you're out there somewhere. He introduced this to me, 12 years ago, something like that, and I was just blown away by this song. And so you guys need to play this song. So it's a great song, acoustic. His voice is awesome. It's kind of upbeat. He's cruising along. You like it. I like the time changes. I like the way it sounds. And it's great. And you're cruising along. It's good. And then you get towards the end, and you think it's just going to kind of fade out. And he's Axl being Axl with all of his noises that it makes. And it builds up, and then boom. And this is so good. You have to check this out. This is a good one. And I just play this song, and it just gets me going every single time. So this one is a good one from Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses, a couple other deep cuts they have, 14 Years and Yesterday, off of Use Your Illusion. Those are ones you don't necessarily hear very often. Of course, my all-time favorite Guns song is Strange. But we're talking about this little gem right here, 1 week or so, 10 days or so after my 20th birthday. I wasn't listening to this record at the time. I was not. But later, I would get into more of this stuff. So you guys remember this record? Remember this particular song? Play that one today. Crank it up and listen to it like 4 or 5 times before you make a judgment, because you're gonna get into it. You're gonna love it. So that's your challenge for today on Wanderlust Wednesday here in the cave. Whatever you're doing, I hope it involves music. And as usual, I'll catch you on the flip side.